Ready to begin the talk?
Yes.
One, two, three, we're filming na.
Good day, everyone. So we're here to interview the prominent leader of FEU Central Student Organization, Mr. Razon or Rizon? Rizon Gonzalez. So today we're gonna focus on your insights and experiences about leadership. So for the first question, what does leadership mean to you?
Alright, so siguro I'll be sharing my experience as part din ng Fuxo as you've mentioned. Siguro leadership means being present. Kasi on my experience, I've been with Fuxo for already 4 years. So it's really being present. Kailangan you're always prioritizing the welfare of your constituents. So in my case, I always see to it that the students have been receiving the best experience. Although there are really a number of things na may mga hindrances talaga. Examples, yung mga petitions natin, yung mga breaks natin, mga class suspensions. But then, if may mga bagay na hindi talaga nangyayari, you have to show up pa rin sa kanila kahit mahirap and give them alternative ways para din ma-alleviate yung mga nararanasan ng mga students. So, in a nutshell, it's really being present and having the right mind and decision making para sa best interest ng mga students.
Sinabi niyo nga po, matagal na po kayo sa FUSCO. Mga 4 years na po.
Yes.
Tapos yung na-pick up ko po is yung, it really matters po yung well-being din po ng mga constituents niyo po. So it's very great naman po. And for the naman po, since sinabi niyo po yung doon, ano po yung second question po is, ano po yung key actions and behaviors of the person that you've experienced as your best leader?
Siguro, one of the key actions, siguro this is not just applicable sa mga student leaders, siguro applicable din to sa mga business leaders natin since I've been immersed also with the different CEOs of big companies, of different large companies in the world. I've met with them. And ang pinaka-nakita ko talagang key actions or parang attributes nila, hindi ka dapat mabilis, mag-frail o panghinaan ng loob. There will really be a lot of times na may mga outcomes na hindi talaga aligned sa gusto mong mangyari as a leader. Pero kailangan hindi ka titigil. As I've mentioned a while ago, you have to be present. Kahit may mangyari hindi aligned sa gusto mo, kailangan patuloy ka pa rin and continue doing what you want. And ayun, as I mentioned kanina rin, kailangan hindi ka lang dapat gumagawa ng decision. Kailangan smart ka. Kasi napaka-importante na yung decision mo, you consider everyone. So example, may mga minority tayo, may iba't iba tayong kinds of people. Kailangan you have to consider them. And bawal dapat silang just na hayaan na hindi ma-accommodate. And that's what a leader should be always doing. Kahit may majority, we also have to look din dun sa minority of the people kasi part din sila ng pinaglilidan mo as a leader.
So ayun nga, so si Mr. Razon, marami na rin siyang involvement sa mga big organizations and companies. At yung napansin ko is, kinoconsider niya mga iba't ibang demographics, hindi lang sa isa. That is commendable. Yung next na question is, are leaders born or made?
Actually, this question, medyo meron siyang sagutin, pero I think leaders are made. Kasi parang, example ako, hindi naman ako inianak ng magulang ko, a leader na to. Parang, it's a amalgamation or it's a culmination of the experiences that you've experienced. So, example for me, nung siguro mga early years ko or elementary, hindi naman ako leader type kind of a person. Parang, it's the experiences that has made you want to be in a leadership role. So, for example, as I mentioned nga, hindi nga ako leader ng elementary. Parang, I've seen a lot of people or students that needs to be guided also, that needs to be helped, and someone has to step up. So, parang, it's experience din, and it's not automatic. Parang, kailangan may drive ka din. Kasi hindi ka rin naging leader just because, gusto ko nito para sa CV ko, gusto ko nito dahil ang ganda pakinggan, president, ang ganda pakinggan. Pero it's not about that. It's about what you really want to do, and it's really of service. So, they are not born, but they are made, and they are made by a person's experiences and beliefs to help other people.
So ayun nga, so according to Mr. Razon, leaders are made dahil sa experiences nila. Parang may call sa kanila that they have to step up. Next is, what is a role model?
A role model is someone that you look up into. So, on my end, yung role model ko actually, at the moment, kasi pa iba-iba tayo ng role model. On my end, iba yung role model ko every time period or every era. Yung role model ko ngayon is yung different CEOs, specifically one of the heads of BPI company, of BPI na bank. Kasi parang, upon seeing her life story, so she's a woman, upon seeing her life story, before siya maging CEO ng BPI Wealth, intern lang siya sa BPI dati. Tapos, now she's the CEO. So, technically, yung role model ko is someone that has an experience that you want to also have, plus the output that you want to also have, and someone that possesses that same drive with you. So, as of the moment, I'm looking up to her. So, ang name niya is si Jean B. Go. that's her name, she's the CEO of BPI Wealth. So it's really a great thing. Even you guys, depende yun sa company nyo, baka makapag-intern din kayo sa specific companies since you're accountancy students. Malay nyo, you're the next CEOs of those next companies. So it's really more on someone that has accomplished a great achievement in their lives, but still being grounded to what she really is in this world.
That's very nice. So CEO ng ano no?
Yes, BPI Wealth.
BPI Wealth. For our next question, what can leaders do to help others in the organization see the future?
Alright, so I think this is a very relevant to me since as part of Yuxo, I've been really handling almost 400 plus members of the organization. So what we're doing in Yuxo or as the president is to help people understand first. Kasi, example, di ba, future technically means what is this something that you want to achieve in the specific time period. So, hindi tayo basta-basta utos ng utos lang, ito yung gusto kong mangyari, ito yung gusto kong gawin nyo para ito yung mangyari sa future. It's not like that. You have to make people understand na ito yung gusto kong gawin dahil ganito yung mangyayari maganda sa mga sinasakupan natin. So it's really having people understand first why you want that specific thing in the future. Next is, that's the time where you need to execute it. Kailangan maintindihan muna nila, tapos pag naintindihan nila kung bakit ito kailangan, yun yung time na gagawa na kayo ng plan kung paano ito magagawa na maayos. So, as leaders, never kami nag-i-impose. So kung hindi ka naniniwala dito, it's okay. We understand. But our role as a leader, we're gonna have a dialogue, we're gonna have a conversation para maintindihan mo kung bakit ito kailangan. And yun yung burden actually sa amin as leaders. Maraming mga tao na hindi nakikita yung same as vision with us, same vision with the future. But then, ayun nga, as I mentioned, kailangan maintindihan nila muna. Ipaintindi. Yun yung burden natin. Ipaintindi natin sa kanila na kailangan ito. At hindi natin sila pipilitin na intindihin just because sinabi ko. It's making them understand and executing it. Then, we'll wait for the results afterwards.
So, hindi niyo po pinipilit yung ideology niyo po sa mga tao, pero gusto niyong ipakita kung bakit ito tama.
Yes, definitely. Exactly.
Now, for the next question, what are some of the actions you take to create a climate for change and encourage risk-taking?
Alright. So, siguro I'll be answering that question on a business perspective since I'm a business student and as a student leader also. So, in businesses kasi, I think you've also studied this already, I'm not sure lang, na ang mga negosyo, baka ang tingin nyo, or dun sa mga audience natin, I'm not sure, baka yung tingin nila kasi sa mga business natin, it's just a profit-making, pagkikita ng pera lang, but it's not. Businesses are required to have CSR, or corporate social responsibilities. So, yung mga companies din natin, marami silang ways to help in climate justice or helping climate resilience. So, there are a lot of companies that has been making or transitioning to an eco-friendly processes. May mga hindi na gumagamit ng mga papers, lahat sila digital na, may mga gumagamit ng solar energies. But on a leader's perspective or as a student leader's perspective is it's really more about making the students aware. Kasi as a student leader, yun nga, as I mentioned, hindi ko kayo pwede pilitin na okay, kailangan nyo magtapon ng basura sa mga tamang tapunan. Bawal kayo mag-smoke. I cannot make you do that. As I mentioned, kailangan maintindihan nyo muna kung bakit bawal yung mga bagay na to, bawal gawin yung pagtatapon ng basura sa kung saan-saan. And it's really making more an awareness. And siguro just to give an example, yung Tatak-Tama Raw na event namin nung August, yung advocacy namin doon, it's really more on climate change. So, yung mga advocacies namin doon, we have different benefactors doon na more on leaning to climate justice, different trivias leaning more on climate justice. So, it's really making people aware. Then, after that, it's up to the student themselves on how will they do actions moving forward. So, again, it's really just going to sum up na maintindihan dapat ng mga tao kung bakit mo ginagawa yung mga bagay na yun.
So, you encourage change by using advocacies to make people aware.
Yes.
That's nice. Should leaders let their constituents fail?
Wait. Marami na kami sagutin. Pero, alright. Sige. I think leaders should not let their constituents fail. But, if their constituents fail, it doesn't make them any less of a person. So, ang goal syempre, as leaders, ang goal talaga natin, kailangan pulido yung lahat. Kailangan maayos lahat ng gagawin mo through events, through initiatives, even ACADS, or even to your friends, kailangan pulido yan. But then, kapag may nag-fail ng isang bagay, hindi ka nabawasan na sa tao. Hindi mo yun ikakababa. And I think, there are most cases na mas maganda pa nga na nag-fail yung a person is failing. Because, I think there's a notion na parang kapag nag-fail ka, yun yung parang pinaka-biggest lesson mo. How you will be making things better moving forward para hindi ka na mag-fail. So, I think leaders should not make their constituents fail, but if their constituents fail, it's okay. It's not a problem. It's just a step for you to learn and do things better moving forward.
So, ayun nga. So, if nag-fail ka, ibig sabihin lang nun, meron ka pang room to improve.
Yes.
Now, on to our next question. How can leaders create a climate of trust and facilitate relationships among people in a work team?
Alright. So, I think dito rin papasok sa organizations or even in groups, kahit sa group works, kailangan mag-set muna kayo ng expectations. Kasi for example, I know you guys are a group. I've been into different groups, different organizations, different programs. But then, di ba leader ka? Hindi ka basta-basta command lang dyan. Kailangan meet them first. Know your members first. Know your constituents. Ano ba yung expectations natin sa isa't isa? Kaya nyo bang gawin yung mga bagay na ganito? Are we on the same page with them? So, kailangan you set expectations first. After setting expectations, that's the time that you really do on your work. Kasi kapag nakapag-set na kayo ng expectations, alam niyo na yung kayang gawin ng isa't isa. And hindi na kayo madidisappoint, hindi kayo mag-expect ng sobra kasi nakapag-set na kayo ng boundaries. Then, after that, it's the best time na after you've done everything, gumawa kayo ng feedback mechanisms. Magkaroon kayo ng evaluations. At saan ba tayo nag-fail after the specific project, after the specific group? Saan ba tayo nagkulang? Para next time moving forward, you'll be better on doing it. So, ang pagiging leader, hindi ka lang basta titigil. Parang unstoppable baga kung bata. Unstoppable tayo, ganyan. Hindi tayo tumitigil pag may nag-fail, kapag may nawala ng trust. It's making them understand and continuously having feedback mechanisms para naiintindihan niya yung isa't isa.
So ano po yan? Communication and setting boundaries
Yes.
amongst leaders and their subordinates?
Yes.
And with that process, it builds trust?
Yes, exactly.
On to our next question. What are the 3 things that can be done to improve in each leadership practice? What are 3 things that you can do to continue learning to be a better leader?
Alright. Parang ang hirap kasi nagpa-enumerate. Pero siguro yung 3 things that someone has to do to be a great leader is to immerse yourself with the people that you want to lead with. Kasi hindi ka pwedeng mag-lead ng hindi mo kilala kung sino yung mga tao na nagsisibihan mo. So, parang bumababa ka sa kanila. You're reaching with the people. Para magkaka-level kasi dapat talaga kayo. Hindi ka mataas. And immerse yourself with the people. So, that's first. Second, kailangan maging matalino ka. I know, hindi naman instant kasi yung maging matalino. Ano siya, parang yung talino mo, haluan mo ng diskarte. So, kailangan maging matalino ka sa pag-create ng mga decisions mo kasi marami ma-apektuhan sa isang mong desisyon. And another, siguro lastly, is to, this is for everyone, regardless if you have experience or not, kailangan meron ka talagang specific drive. Kasi leaders are not there just because they want, yun nga, as I mentioned, for CV or for recognition. May pinanghuhugutan din talaga yung mga leader. And I ask myself, ano ko pinanghuhugutan as to why I'm still here, I run for election twice, been into campaigns twice already. So, kailangan meron ka pinanghuhugutan. And dapat, hindi lang siyang pansarili mo. Kailangan, meron ka talagang heart for the people. And that is what is the most important. Kasi kahit matalino ka, kahit you've been creating the best things, if these things doesn't resonate with the people that you're serving, because you have no heart, it's nothing. So, just to reiterate, it's about being immersing with the people that you're serving. It's about being smart and making smart decisions. And lastly, having a drive or passion to really lead with the people with a good heart.
So like, pag humahanap po kayo ng mga constituents niyo po, ano yan? Parang meron kayong same skill level, tapos pareho kayo ng skill
Yes.
and goal and
Yes.
drive. Ayan. Tell me about a time you struggled with work-life balance. Did you manage to solve the problem? How did you do it?
Alright, sige. Siguro last year when I was the Fuchs auditor, I won as a Fuchs auditor. So, sobrang nakakagulat kasi ganito pala yung feeling ng pagiging executive board ng Fuchso, the organization that we have. Parang kailangan talaga yung oras mo, allotted talaga siya for the student. Kailangan online, kailangan willing ka mag-sacrifice ng time for the student. So, siguro nung first year and second year kasi, I'm a normal member lang ako ng Fuchso. So, hindi naman ako yung parang president or auditor na talagang officer ng org. So, during those times, nakaka-attend pa ako ng mga dance classes, nakakapag-party pa ako and everything, and I can go home sa family ko every once in a while. But then, when I was an auditor, nakakagulat kasi may mga bagay akong hindi magawa. So, hindi na ako nakaka-attend ng mga dance classes, hindi na ako nagkakaroon ng mga side quests, kasi sobrang tago ng side quests as a person. And marami akong bagay na hindi nagagawa. And yung pinaka-nakakalungkot dun, I've lost a friend. Not because hindi sila namatay parang hindi lang kami naging friends because I've been so busy with what I'm doing. So, it's so hard for me na pipili ba ako, students ba muna, or yung friend ko na nawala sa akin. So, syempre elected ka and you're a leader. Kailangan talaga, isipin mo rin talaga yung mga students mo. And yun yung pinili ko. And sadly, I've lost a friend. But, ayun, I think yun yung parang mahirap sa magiging leader. Kailangan talaga mag-sacrifice ka. But as of the moment naman, I'm making ways as to how we can amend our relationships. Hindi naman siya natatapos agad because nawala siya. It's yun nga, unstoppable ka. Tuloy ka pa rin kahit nag-sacrifice ka. And it's not the end of the world. You can, siguro in the near future when I'm done with this leadership, after kapag nag-graduate na ako, maybe we can meet again, be friends again, and we'll see on to that. And siguro, in leadership kasi, ano siya, it's, pag naging leader ka na, hindi na siya mawawala sa'yo. Until the future. So, ayun, it's sad, there are things you have to sacrifice, pero it's fulfilling when you see that you're serving the students.
So, like, being a leader, Tomas, di ba, naka-director ka dati?
Yes.
I mean, normal Fusco member ka, tapos naging leader ka. Tapos it came with, more responsibilities. At dahil sa responsibilities, may mga sacrifices
Yes, exactly.
has to be made. Tapos it also led to the loss of your friend.
Yes, sadly.
Tapos yung work-life balance
Yes,
mahirap. How do you monitor the performance of individual team members? In what specific ways do you motivate them?
Okay, so this is a good question. Siguro kunwari, sa mga simpleng events namin, example, when we're having concerts, so, nakakagulat pakinggan. Siguro kung normal student ako, nakakagulat pakinggan na, yung concert, student na yung gumawa niyan. Kasi diba concerts are usually pang mga artists talaga na big productions. Pero dito sa FE, magugulat ka na yung mga concerts and events natin, students yung gumagawa. And during event planning namin sa mga concerts like the Taktamarao Xylophone Concerto, we always pick the right people that we want to work with. So, for example, okay, I need someone for a specific team. Kailangan tama yung members na pipiliin mo. And after that, hindi na natapos doon. It doesn't mean na pinili mo yung mga tamang tao, okay na, it's gonna run smooth. Kailangan i-monitor mo nga din siya as you've mentioned. And we monitor it by always being hands-on. Kailangan talaga nandun ka as a leader. Hindi ka lang taga-command. You're there to see how do they perform. Will they be improving as a normal member? Will they be improving as a leader? So it's about checking them in, being hands-on, and being there. So kapag nakita namin na yung mga members namin, they're lacking in performance, what we do is, agad kami, like, we message them informally. Na, hello, I've been seeing na for the recent days or recent tasks, parang medyo inactive ka or missing in action, worried lang ako kasi naapektuhan yung organization. So, yun, communicate tayo. Informally lang muna kasi mali mo naman may pinagdadaanan. So, ayan. After that, kapag talaga na-communicate na namin, tapos hindi pa rin okay yung performance nila, doon talaga kami magkakaroon ng talagang masinsinan na pag-uusap. Kasi baka talaga hindi na nila kaya. So, ayan. And what we do to motivate them is to help them understand, as I mentioned. Bakit ba natin ginagawa tong concert na to? Bakit ba natin ginagawa tong events na to? So, babalik at babalik tayo lagi sa purpose natin on why we're here. So, laging ipaintindi, bumalik sa reason mo and purpose kung bakit ka nandito. At ayun talaga, to be really of great service sa mga estudyante. And siguro, just to share, one mechanism na ginagawa namin sa Fuxo, meron kaming semestral evaluation. So, every sem, on December, or every end of December, meron kaming parang i-evaluate namin lahat ng mga naka-work namin. So, kapag na-evaluate namin sila, makikita namin, siya yung nag-perform, siya yung magaling, siya yung mataas yung grade, so magaling siya mag-work. Doon namin nakikita, ito yung mga performing na members, ito yung mga hindi performing. So, sila yung need namin i-guide palalo, tapos doon din namin makikita, ito yung mga taong hindi na need ng guidance kasi magaling na sila. So, napaka-importante talaga ng evaluation and having feedback para ma-assess mo yung mga members mo. And creating different avenues and insight. So, ayun, sa Fuxo, syempre, meron kaming office. Lagi nagbabonding yung mga members namin, ganyan. Laging may mga kumakain sama-sama. So, it's a family, technically. Not just workmates, not just friends, it's a family. So, ayun.
So, you monitor them by their hands-on presence sa mga pag-handle ng mga events.
Yes.
Tapos then, you motivate them by pagpapaalala kung ano yung responsibility nila.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, thank you. For the next question, how do you describe your leadership style?
I think my leadership style is transformative. Kasi when I'm leading, hindi kasi dapat ako lang yung mag-i-improve. Kailangan, as a member, kailangan meron ka magawang impact or growth from yourself. So for example, as a president ngayon, meron akong Students Welfare and Human Services Department. Yung gumagawa ng mga petitions and everything. On that note, hindi lang ako yung gagawa ng petition, kailangan involve lahat ng members. And I want to see from that specific point, okay, they're growing as a member. They can do these things pala on their own. So, it's about helping them, and as I mentioned, transformative. You're with me in doing this leadership. Kahit normal member ka lang, you're a leader ka na, being part of Fuxo. So, ayan, being transformative, not just thinking about your own growth, but the growth of all the members that you're working with.
So, ayun, grabe talaga pagiging leader. No? Marami kang i-consider na bagay, not only for your own well-being, pero yung well-being din ng mga subordinates. No? Grabe. Super inspiring and motivating for me and yung mga viewers din natin, for sure. Okay, thank you, Mr. Razon. Mr. Razon for being here, taking the time to be in our interview, and sobrang appreciated namin lahat.
Alright, thank you so much din.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you po.